say treat, but I'm not sure if it is for you all today. Um, I've got one of my core strengthening workouts that I have really been enjoying doing. We're gonna do a small warm up. The whole thing is completely no impact, okay? It is a form of high intensity interval training though, so we're gonna push ourselves for 30 seconds and then we're gonna do our control move for 30 seconds. So we've got 5 sets of doing that. So I'll start in our warm up. You don't need to have your trainers on, you can if you want. We're going to bring our feet apart and our toes apart. And then all we're going to do is tilt forward and back through the pelvis. So I want you to create a nice range of movement through your lower back. So from the side, you're tilting, arching the back, pushing your belly button towards the floor, pulling the belly button up, pulling the pubic bone up and lengthening through the back. So you're just going one way and the other. It's just trying to move into the lower back. Just going one extreme to the other, and then we're going to find our midpoint between those 2 points. So your hip bones should be level, your tummy muscles are drawn in, your belly button should be pointing straight ahead. We're going to open wide through the front of the chest, roll the shoulders back, and we're going to bring our feet nice and wide. So we're going to go toes and heels and toes and heels and toes. From here, we're going to start with our breath. So we breathe in and out. So we sink down, our knees are going to come over our feet, our shoulders are back, and we're just floating those arms up, trying to get a little bit lower each time. One more. We're going to stay where we are, bring your hands forward. I'm going to walk forward so I don't hit the wall. You can still see. Hands forward, we breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. I want you to follow that hand as it goes all the way around. So keep watching it and rotating nice and big through the top of your body. One more. We're going to stay here and we're going to pulse. So I'm going to come back so you can see. So those feet are out, knees are out, and we're just gently pulsing into this squat. We're going to get a little bit lower. So it stops being quite so gentle, quite quick. Our chest is open, shoulders back. You want to keep that connection between the ribs and the pelvis. Let's get lower. So if you imagine there's a spring on each side, just holding the ribs down to the pelvis. We're going to keep that nice and strong. Let's get a little bit lower. Last ones. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drive up, bring the feet in. So the feet are going to come back in underneath the hips. We're going to sink down, drive up. So parallel squats this time. We're in sinking down, chest up, thinking about pushing your bum back. But we keep that connection, so ribs to pelvis stay there. So we're not just collapsing down through our top half of our body. One more, and up onto your tiptoes. Push up, control down. Push up, control down. 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring it into a nice march. When we're marching here, I want you to think about pulling the knee up as high as you can. So we use our tummy muscles, and I want you just to go at the pace that you feel comfortable with. So if you can, we're going to speed it up. We're going to add in some holds to work on our balance. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Hold, hold. One more each side. Last one. And standing. Now my mat's just got a mind of its own. We're going to bring the weight onto the left side. We're going to bring the right foot slightly forward, so the toes are just touching. We're going to sink down, come up. Sink down, drive up. So the reason we do a lot of balance work and one leg stands in our warm-up for our core is that as soon as you stand on one leg, your deep abdominal muscles have to kick in to help you adapt. So it's a really nice way just to build on your balance and on your core and just start firing up the right muscles. One more. Keep the weight on that right side. We're going to bring the leg out and in. So try not to bring that right leg down onto the floor if you can. The shoulders are over the hips, tummy muscles tight. Can we bring that leg a bit higher? Test that balance. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Weight comes onto the right side, left toes come forward, chest open, sink down, come up. So as little weight as you can through that left side. So if you can keep that foot up and not put it on the floor. But if you need to adjust to start your warm up, just have your toe tapping. Good. Can you get a bit lower? Push through the heel. Oh, I'm wobbling now. 3, 2, 1. Coming up, out, and in. So shoulders over hips, tummy muscles tight. Squeezing up. Can we get it a bit higher? 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. We're going to come and stand at the back of our mats and roll down. So our feet are underneath our hips. To get down onto the floor, we breathe in through our nose. We breathe out through our mouth, we tuck our chin. We roll down through the spine, bone by bone by bone. Hold that here, feel that stretch at the back of the legs. Breathing out, coming down. We're going to come and lie on our backs. So it's really important when we're here, when we're lying down, that we've got the right control. We're going to be here for a while. So you want to bring your feet together and your knees together. Bring our toes apart and our heels apart. And we're going to tilt our pelvis forward and back again, the same as we did in standing. So you're creating that nice big arch at your lower back, tucking the tailbone under and flattening that space down. What we're going to do here, we've got 5 sets. Each set's 2.5 minutes. We've got 3 of our higher intensity moves and 2 of our control moves in each set. We're going to find that midpoint. So your midpoint for most people, everyone's a little bit different, so where you're comfortable, but you should have a small gap in your lower back, but you shouldn't be able to reach your fingers. Your fingers shouldn't touch in the middle if you reach through. The other way to check is that your hip bones are nice and level at the front and your belly button is going to be pointing directly up at the roof. We're going to ease it in gently, okay? So set 1, 30 seconds. We reach the right leg into tabletop, reach it away, down to the floor, and in, and down. Okay, change to the left side. 30 seconds, starts now. So we reach, and back. Breathing out, and breathing in. So we're using that control. Sliding the ribs to the belly button. Getting the, sorry, my brain just froze there. You're getting the control as you change from side to side. So if you have your hands on your tummy, you shouldn't be able to feel any difference in movement as you change side to side. One more. And down, we've got our control now. So we're going to slide the foot away, flex the toes and pull the heel back towards you. Push the left foot away, flex the heel, pull it back. So pushing away, pulling it back. For the next 2 sets, I'm going to give you options, okay? But if you're starting to feel it in your lower back at all, if you're not comfortable, if you're new to exercising, then just stay with option 1, okay? And work on that control. We've got one more. And in. So option 2, we bring both legs up, okay? So knees are over the hips, feet are hidden behind the knees. And we're going to reach one leg, and in, and reach with the other. Okay, nice and simple. Go. 30 seconds. Pull and in. So we're working on keeping that lower back nice and still. Breathing out, breathing in. Really developing the control that we've got here. We've got 10 more seconds. The lower you bring the leg, the more you need to stretch, the more you need to control it. So Joan, you can stay here if you need to. Bring the legs down, one and the other. Hands back on the tummy, make sure you're still in neutral. Slide the right leg away, pull it back in. Slide the left leg, pull it back in. So using that stability. Breathing out to stretch away, breathing in to pull it back. One more, and in. Option 3, we still bring both legs up. This time we're going to bring the head up as well. We pull and we pull. Just we're not pulling on the knees, the hand's just there. The knee pulls itself and the hand's just there to help guide, okay? Ready, and go. So this is quite a lot, so if you're not used to doing ab work or you're new to exercising any back pain, come back to option 1 or even the alternative for option 2, okay? 4, 3, 2, 1, knees in, head down, one leg and the other. One set down, 4 to go. We're going to bring it into our hundreds. So when we're in our hundreds, the whole time, regardless of what, we're going to move up the positions with our legs. Our chin tucks. We'll roll up through the head and shoulders with our hands reached and we're looking above our knees. If that is too much of a strain on your neck, if you don't have the control, then if you really need to, you can have your head down on the floor. You won't get quite the same effect. But a nice alternative is to have one hand behind your head and pulse and change. So you would just keep changing arms as you feel you need to, okay? That's your option. So hands behind your head if you need to, or hands reached up. And we're just going to pulse. Feet stay flat, tummy muscles stay controlled. Ready, and go. Pulse, 10 pulses with our palms down, 10 pulses with our palms facing up to the roof. Thinking about sliding the ribcage down towards the belly button, staying long through the neck. Good, almost there. Use your hands behind the neck if you need to. And down. We're going to float our hands up for our control move. So we're going to work on that shoulder. So we reach the hands up to the roof, draw the shoulder blades apart. Pull the shoulder blades together, bring the hands behind the head, reach the hands up, float the arms overhead, bring it back up. So we reach the fingertips up, pull the shoulder blades back to the floor. Bend the elbows, straighten up, reach overhead, straighten up. So just those 3 moves. We're going to do it once more. And we're going to float our hands up. Our option this time, we're going to do 15 seconds with our right leg up, and we're going to do 15 seconds with our left leg up. I'll tell you when to change. So use your hands behind your head if you need to, but if you can, cuddle up, float the right hand up, and go. Reach. Good. Trying to keep looking into the middle distance. 3, 2, 1. Change to the left side. Keep it going. Ribs to pelvis. Stretching towards your toes. Almost. 3, 2, 1. And down. Float those hands back up. We're going to bring it into our upper limbs. So ribs to pelvis, chest open, shoulders back. We stretch up, pull down, bend and squeeze, over and back. So we're keeping everything else still while we're just moving through the shoulders. One more. And float the hands. Your option this time, I'll tell you when it's 15 seconds, so you can, if you're wanting to stay on one leg and change to the other, I'll tell you when to swap over. If you want though, bring both feet up. This time, if you're in double tabletop, so if both knees are up in the air, you need to squeeze your knees together, squeeze your heels together, and bring your toes apart. So you're a bit like a strange penguin. We're going to cuddle up, so find your option. Feet flat on the floor, one leg, two legs, and go. Squeeze. Looking above those knees. And keep it going. That's you halfway. Straighten the legs up if you can. Change sides if you need to. Keep pulsing. Find your option, but don't stop. Almost there. 2, 1, and down. One leg and the other. We're going to come over. And we're going to come up into our side plank. I'm going to grab my block for the next bit. So we're going to bring our weight onto our elbow. So we've got a couple of options here. Our elbow is going to come out from underneath our shoulder and our hip's going to come up towards our elbow. Roll the shoulders forward so the hips are stacked. Now if you're not able to push up off of this hip, then just stay here and you can work in this position, okay? So you can still have your hand behind the head and bringing that leg up. If you can, we're going to push up. It's just 30 seconds on each side. So the hand's going to come behind the head, top leg's going to come up. So we're lifting through here. 30 seconds starts now. We're going to bring it forward, pull it back, forward, pull it back. So we're pointing the foot, squeezing it back, thinking about closing off through the ribs, lifting up through the chest. So your hand can be behind the head, it can be on your hips if you need to. We've got 5 more seconds. Nice and controlled. 3, 2, 1, and down. We're going to bring it into our arm openings just to stretch open the chest. I'm going to go a bit squint so that I can still move my arms. Use a block, use a towel, use a pillow if you need to, or just have your head on the floor. We're going to reach the bottom arm through, bend the knees where you're comfortable, top hand sits above. We're going to reach that top hand all the way back into a nice big stretch, and then we're going to breathe in and bring those hands together. So breathe out, stretch away, make your fingers as wide apart as you can, pull them back. One more. And down. We're going to push up and we're going to do the same on the other side. So elbow out from underneath the shoulder, lifting up through the waist, opening through the chest. So staying here if you need to and just bringing that top leg up, or if you can, pushing up and bringing it forward and back. So this is our 30. We're thinking about drawing the ribs to the pelvis, lifting up through the waist and squeeze. So we're holding everything else nice and still, and this leg's just going to glide around. No effort whatsoever. 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Bringing the head down, sliding that shoulder through. That bottom arm's going to come all the way through, so the shoulders flat on the floor. One hand on top of the other. Breathing out, coming all the way back, and breathing in. So we're following that hand with our head. A nice big stretch. So you can play around with where your knees are to get the most out of this. And up. Now Now we've done both sides, and we've still got 30 seconds. So I've got a nice little one just for you. So we're going to stretch our legs out. So you're nice and straight through the knees. Going to open through the chest, hands behind the head. Doesn't matter which way your fingers are pointing. You could couple them out to the side or behind you. And all we're going to do is breathe out, flow up, breathe and come down. So still working on opening through the chest, squeezing the bum to bring yourself. Good, one more. And down. We're going to come lie down again. We've got 2 more sets. Our next set is scissors. Okay, it goes up the levels quite a lot, and level 1 we're going to use as our control. So if you're not, I'll show you the first option, and if you're not comfortable putting your legs up in tabletop, I'm going to show you what to do instead. Okay, so you've got your neutral pelvis, tummy muscles drawn in. You're going to bring the right leg up, you're going to bring the left leg up, right leg down, left leg down, and then you're going to lead with the left. So up, up, down, down. Nice and simple, but really important to feel what's going on at the tummy and make sure that you're not moving loads and that your tummy muscles aren't pushing up into your hand. It'll be really obvious if it happens. If that's happening to you, you're not comfortable bringing both legs up, hands behind the head, breathing out, curl up, breathing in and lower, and use your crunches, okay? And I'll give you options as we go. If you're able though, we're going to bring it into our scissors. So we come up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Using that control, making sure that there's no movement happening across the front of your tummy. You should be able to have a tray of drinks on here and not spill a single drop. Good, almost there. 3, 2, 1. Hands on the tummy. Our control move, we're going to come back to those single tabletops. So we float the right leg up and we float the left leg up. We're going to slow it down here. The slower we do it, the more control we need, the harder it is to cheat. So pulling in, breathing out to come up, breathing in to come down. This is a really nice move. It's really important for when we're walking, when we're running, developing that stability and that control. Last one. You've got a new option this time. So if you're happy enough in double tabletop, we come up. You can have your head and shoulders up if you want as well, and we tap. So either one leg at a time or both. So you've got loads of options here. There, you can do the same thing with your hand, with your head down and tapping, okay? Or just your cuddles and bringing one leg up. Okay, so you can combine those two. Ready, and go. I love this because it's so versatile. There's options for absolutely everything. Curling up, sliding those ribs to the pelvis, and move those legs nice and controlled. Little taps. Keep an eye on the time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Head down and legs down. Bringing it back to that control. So we float up, we come down. We float up, we come down. This is usually the move that the more, as you get more and more tired, this level 1 option, this control move, gets harder and harder. It's really obvious when you're cheating. So if you need to, just float it up a little and bring it down if that's where you're at. Good, 1 more each side. And then we've only got 3 minutes left. So our last option here. Legs are up, head and shoulders come up, and we extend the legs up. So we reach and we reach, okay? So again, this is a big stretch on the hamstring. So if your knees are bent and you're here, if you can't straighten them, stay with option 2, okay? If you can, though, reach up and stretch. Ready, and go. So those hands are just there to guide again. The legs are going to bring themselves in. If you find that you're lowering the legs and you're arching, just keep it up, okay? But we're gonna push it. We're almost there. Keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, 1. Head down, bend the knees, one leg and the other. We're going to come over onto our front for our last set. I'm going to bring my mat away from the wall. Bringing it into our plank, running legs, mountain climbers, whatever you want to call them. If we are going to be, for the whole move, we're going to be in this position, okay? If this is not a position for you, I want you to come onto your elbows and onto your knees. And then you're going to lift here, okay? So this is your lower option. It's not easy at all. You've got to be strong through the lower back. So use that as your lower option if you can't put the weight on your wrists, okay? But it's not an easy option. If you can though, hands are going to come out, knees underneath the hips, roll the shoulders back. You're going to float up, stretch forward. And we're going to bring one knee in and across, okay? And go. So the knee comes in and away. Nice and slow. Feeling the knee to the opposite elbow. Shoulders back, tummy muscles tight. Everything else is staying still. Think about stretching that leg away. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and down. Let's stretch all the way out. Reach the hands away. I'm going to breathe out, float the right arm and the left leg. Breathe in, bring it down. Breathe out, float the left arm and the right leg. Breathe in, bring it down. So thinking about drawing back through the shoulders, pulling the tummy muscles in, and stretching those fingers and toes as far away as you can. Last one, and up. We're going to do exactly the same again. So if you're on your elbows or on your hands, stay with that option if you need to, but we're going to try and speed it up. So we're keeping the control but building on our speed. Hands stretched, ready, and go. So pulling across, pull those knees in, shoulders back. Pull the belly button back, up towards your back. And keep moving. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh, time flies, doesn't it? Reaching out. Same control again. Head down. Float the right arm and the left leg. Bring it back. Float the left arm and the right leg. Bring it back. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. And up. We are going to do almost exactly the same. The only difference, more control and a whole lot faster. We've got 30 seconds, okay? Reaching out, ready, and go. Push it as much as you can. Pull the belly button in and glide the knees across. How much can you twist through the legs? Keep it going. 10 more seconds. Shoulders back. Pull it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And stretch it out. Knees wide. Bum onto the heels. And relax onto the mat. And I really hope everybody else is as tired as I am now. We're going to tuck our toes under. We're going to pull back onto our heels. And we're going to uncuddle all the way up through the spine. Bring the feet together. Toes apart, heels apart, chest open, shoulders back, ribs to pelvis. We're going to come up onto our toes and down. Breathe out and in. Breathe out and in. One more. We're going to bring it into our foot series. So we come up onto the toes. Bend the knees, keep the heels up, lower the heels, straighten up. The toes, bend down, lower the heels, and back. One more. And we're going to change direction. So we sink back into our squat, lift our heels, drive up through our toes, and down. Sink down, lift up, drive, and down. One more. Now, I don't know about you, I'm a bit tired, so I'm not sure how this control's going to go. We're going to bring the weight onto the left leg. We're going to pull in through our tummy, float the right leg up, bring it out, bring it in, and down. We're going to float our left leg up, bring it out, bring it in, and down. So thinking about pulling it nice and low into our tummy. So the muscles that we're wanting to activate are right across the front of our hip. So way lower. Don't think about your belly button, think about where the zip on your trousers would start, okay? And up. And then we're going to change it. We're going to float the right leg up, both hands, reach the hands overhead, reach the leg away, in and down. Same on that left side. Floating it up, reach, in and down. Thinking about that stability that I've lost. Gonna do one more on each side. And down. We're gonna bring it into corkscrew. So we breathe in, bring the hands behind the head, shrug up, relax down, reach up, come wide. So we breathe in as we float our arms up. We breathe out, bring them behind our head. Breathe in and shrug. Breathe out, relax. Breathe in and reach. Breathe out and come down. We've got one more nice big stretch.